Hey, turn it up a little bit.
It's all the way up. I can't even hear you. It's so loud.
All the way up. Who's here?
There we go. There we go.
Here? Who's showing us love? Oh, hey, girl.
Cool.
Hey, I love her little little like Maracha dancing dress that she always gives us. When I visualize you, friend, I just need you to know that that's always how I picture you.
What?
In a red. I always just picture her dancing in a red tango dress.
Who?
On her shrimp boat.
Who?
Like from a novel. Selena.
I didn't hear anything you said. Can you please start over again?
Did you hear me, friend? I wasn't really talking to you, Emily. I was actually talking to her. So as long as
sure. What are you talking about?
Our Selena. She's here. She gave us a little dancing hi emoji. And I said to her, I was talking to her, to you, that when she always does the little like the red dancing dress. And I want her to know that that's how I always picture her.
You keep using the pronoun her instead of the name Selena. And so you have to explain who you're talking about a little more specifically for those of us who were listening to music over here.
It's all good. It's all good. I was talking to her. I was having a two-way conversation, so you need to see your way out of it.
Got it. Well, welcome to Be Better Together. It is, believe it or not, going to be a tremendous discussion today.
Yeah,
outside of
our fun little intro moment. It's really
out of all of that craziness.
Quality. Yeah, promise.
Quality. It is going to be a quality discussion today, and we're going to talk about envy and jealousy. Now,
it's a really good topic. I'm excited for it. Is my light too bright? Am I too bright for all of you?
No. You know what I was noticing though is you're always like up in the screen like this, and I'm always like back here, so it looks a little. Our
room is just brighter and lighter than mine. I have to get close so that you can see me.
Is that what it is?
I mean, like step back in the shadows.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, welcome. We're always so glad you're here. As always, let us know you're here. Just like Selena in her little dancing dress. Now that I know what we're talking about here, Selena in your dancing dress. And we're always so glad you're here. So drop a hello, say what's up. As always, if you're watching the replay, hit #replay so we know that you're watching it. We're also broadcasting to several platforms. So as always, please give StreamYard permission to show your name so that we know who you are when you're commenting. There's lots of times where it just says Facebook user. And I'm like, that's great. I don't know who you are.
Unless maybe you want to be incognito.
I know. And that's okay. If you want to do that, that's okay. We can see you on Facebook. We can see on YouTube because we're broadcasting to YouTube as well. But we can see who you are there. It's just in the StreamYard platform that we're broadcasting from. I can't see who you are unless you show your name, who you are. So Selena, thanks for letting StreamYard show your name. But we're going to dig in a little bit. And what's our question of the day, Molly?
Our question of the day is, did Molly actually flippin' pierce her ears?
Yes! Yes, she did.
So if you all saw, I went live on my page over the weekend. And yes, I finally committed to something. I did it. I made it happen. So you can go over to my page and catch the whole story if you missed it. But we have bantered and had, is Molly or isn't she going to pierce her ears? Question of the day over here on Be Better Together Lives on several occasions. And I want you all to hold Emily accountable to giving me my earrings.
You have to come get them.
That's what she keeps saying.
You have to come get them. Yes.
Come get
them. I promised. You have to come get them.
I have to come meet Tula, my niece.
Yes, you do.
I have to come and do.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
So totally. I was really brave and I did something that I wanted to do, but honestly was a little
it's something that I honestly never in a million years thought you would do. Our whole life, you were so, I wouldn't say against. I think I thought you were against it. I think you just were ambivalent about it. But I always thought you were against getting your ears pierced.
I was
And-
never against it. It had no appeal for me. I
Yeah.
loved it in other people. I thought they were pretty, and I wasn't upset that you pierced your ears. But I was just like, why? Like, it doesn't sound
It
interesting.
didn't make sense to you. Yeah. So I was floored at you doing this at this juncture in your life when you've been so committed to the
Very
choice that
committed.
you made. So committed to that.
Very content, like
Yeah.
super content and committed. And it just goes to show you that, and that's really our question of the day, is what is something that you've been really determined or committed against your whole life, or maybe not even against, but just like, yep, that's not for me. And then something just happened and you shifted and you did it, and then you've never been happier, because you need to allow room in your identity for change. You need to allow room for things to happen that maybe you didn't plan on and weren't expecting, and they can be good things. So
Yes.
what is a story? What's something that you have changed or have done that you thought you never would, and now you're really happy that you did it, that you tried
You
it?
know, it's funny because our human nature for most people is to resist change. I mean, think about it this way. You always park in the same parking spot when you go to the gym, or when you go to the place that you always go to. I would say go to work, except I don't know how many of us actually go to work. But if you go to work, if you drive to work, I mean, it's changing a little bit more now, but you know, we're creatures of habit. If we go into a building, I mean, think like a church, right? You always sit in the same pew or the same seat every single time. Same if you're going to school, you always sit in the same. I mean, think back to college, you always sit in the classroom in the same spot.
Yeah.
We are creatures of habit, and we resist change. We really embrace familiarity. And so it is a big deal that you pierced your ears. It is a big deal. And we want to know, question of the day is, what is something that you've done that maybe you resisted, or maybe you just never thought of doing before? And then once you did it on the other side, you were like, oh, I should have done that a long time ago. That's so great.
And
I
you're
should have done that long ago. Oh my gosh. Mary, what a long, beautiful comment. I'm going to have to read this here.
Yeah, we need to. What are you drinking while we read our long, beautiful comment?
Oh my gosh, I love it. Also, Molly, I mean, it fits. I am drinking one of my favorite focus drinks today in the acai berry flavor.
I am drinking a fun new tea that I just bought at an online tea party that my friend hosted. And I'm trying it live in front of all of you for the very first time. It's it was so me. The title of it was so me. It's called London Latte or something. Why vanilla London latte? It just looks like, oh yeah, well, that's got Molly written all over it. So I am trying it for the first time. I'm steeping it back here in my little mug. And I have something else before we get to our point. We really do have value.
We really do. We really do.
Button if you are ready to stop hearing us banter and you want us to get to.
We got so much value for you today. We're talking about envy and how it's destroying your potential. That's what we're getting to.
I'm segueing quite nicely into that right now by saying this, Emily. Do not be confused right now about whether or not you're envious or jealous of what I'm about to show you.
Do not be confused.
Are you envious or jealous right now of my new pearl lemon mug? It comes in purple. It comes in a couple colors. This is my latest. Do you guys know that I'm obsessed with sunglasses, bags, shaker cups, and tumblers? And
oh my gosh! I need to watch this broadcast so I can figure out how not to be envious or jealous of that right now. Sorry, that setup was confusing to me. I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
I am mostly confusing to you all of the time.
Oh my gosh. Molly Copeland, thank you for your lovely comment, by the way. We can see your name. You did give StreamYard permission. Thank you. And that was really funny of you. So anyways, shall we move on and figure out what we're talking about today?
Yes, don't tell my husband I bought another one of these, please.
Okay, I will not tell Andy.
He'll find out later when he watches us live. It's fine.
Okay. Oh my gosh. So we're talking today about, is envy destroying your potential?
The Let that soak in for a minute. This is a pretty heavy topic today. This is one of our favorite topics when we discuss the transformation of your attitude, transformation of your mindset. We have just loved digging in with you with our 3 transformative pillars every week. And the one that really is sometimes the hardest to focus on is your mindset. It all starts there. So when we share on our mindset weeks, it's people are like, can you go back to talk about transforming your day, please? Just tell me something fun to drink.
It's hard work. It's hard work. And then we listen and we pay attention to it. We're like, oh yeah, I'm going to get better at that. I'm going to do the homework. I'm going to do the work. I'm going to do the work to focus on the thing that I know I need to get better on about my mindset, about envy or jealousy or whatever it is. And then we get busy with life and we get distracted. And honestly, it's so much easier to just be the thing that we already are because we're comfortable with it. And change is hard, especially change that makes us better as people. That is so incredibly hard. And so today we're talking about, is envy destroying your potential? And we're going to dig a little deep. I want you to have an open mind and an open heart to being very reflective today about this because we're really going to define it and give you the permission to feel and the strategies to define those feelings. Oftentimes we do ourselves harm by ignoring or penting up the way that we're feeling or the way that we're wired. And you know, that's a whole other kind of conversation around psychoanalysis.
The word.
Psychoanalysis. Hello. Say that 3 times fast. and so what we do harm to our psyche, we do harm to our relationships, we do harm to our ability to grow into the best version of ourselves if we don't really dig deep and go through the pain of acknowledging how we feel and then acknowledge why we feel that way. So this whole conversation today is based on a book called The Permission to Feel, and it is by Mark Brackett. And this book, Permission to Feel, is kind of the premise of what we're talking about today, and really identifying the emotions of envy and the emotions of jealousy. And so I want some hard, honest truth for anybody who's willing to be vulnerable today. Who admits to ever feeling jealous or envious?
I do.
Drop it in the comments. Let us know. Yes. Who has ever felt envy? Who has ever felt jealousy?
Or if you just want to hit the like button, you can do that too to let us know that you're resonating right now with our vulnerability and sharing with you that indeed we have been envious and jealous. Before I even understood the distinction, we got some thumbs up. I love it.
Yes, I love it.
Before we even knew the distinction between the 2 words, and we started shifting our own mindsets in a better direction to truly transform our mind and be better together. I can honestly say I've spent years of my life feeling envious and jealous of something else.
Yeah, me too. Same. Me too. 100%. I will raise all of my hands to feeling envy and jealousy, especially when I was younger and growing up. I always felt like certain levels of achievement or certain levels of success were for other people and they weren't for me. And when I said that to myself and I said, that person.
I said self.
I said to myself, that achievement is for them. It's not for me. And then I gave myself reasons why it was for someone else and not for me. And then what that did is not only did it promote in me the feeling of, well, I can never accomplish that or I can never achieve that because it's for someone else. But then also it became, you're so distracting right now. And then also, yeah,
I'm listening.
It became a feeling of jealousy and envy towards the people that had the thing that I was saying I could never have or could never achieve. And so it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, really. And so, so let's identify what these words mean.
I didn't turn on the overhead light today. Guys, okay. I clearly need more tea in my life.
Yes, you do.
Don't cut the caffeine here.
Okay, so we're going to talk about jealousy first. Jealousy is the feeling that you're suspicious, that you might lose someone important to you. Hold on, let me start over. Jealousy.
Yes.
Feeling suspicious.
Emily, just read the prompter.
I'm just going to read the prompter. This is why I'm not on a news broadcaster. Jealousy.
You definitely look like you could be, though, right now. Doesn't she, guys? Come on.
By the way,
Hutton, you agree with me, right? Doesn't she look like a news analyst right now? You totally do.
News analyst?
Yes.
An analyst?
Yeah, I can say
you better heart that heart button, people.
All hearts right now.
No, but side note, before I get back to that, have you seen on TikTok the teleprompter challenge? That's a TikTok thing that's going around right now. Is that you can see if you can be on the news, if you can read the teleprompter. And everybody is doing that. That's a whole thing on TikTok. Anyways, I digress. Jealousy, feeling suspicious that you might lose someone important to you to another person, feeling protective about a relationship. And so the feeling of jealousy, again, this is all based on the permission to feel. And if we do the work of exploring what we're feeling and why we're feeling it, then we can navigate through that feeling rather than just allowing ourselves to feel jealous. And then jealousy, goes to other things. And then you're on Dateline NBC. And we don't want that.
And then Emily can cover that piece in her other job.
Yeah, as my news analyst job. Okay, so jealousy is when you feel suspicious that you might lose someone, basically. It's the feeling that someone is being taken from you by another person. So if you think about in relationships, especially, like a husband or a partner or somebody, you feel like their attention is being diverted to someone else, or they're someone else is getting all of their interest and they're gravitating towards that person. And so it's important to understand that jealousy is different than the feeling of envy, in that you're feeling protective about a relationship, and that's primarily the feeling of jealousy. You're feeling protective. You feel like that you might lose someone who's close to you. You feel like you might lose something. That is what jealousy is. So now let's talk about what envy is. Envy is desiring what someone has. It's a covetous feeling toward another person's attributes, possessions, or stature in life. So let's talk a little bit about the difference between envy and jealousy.
And it's an interesting distinction to talk about when we truly delve into the whole mindset word. When you're transforming your mindset, you have to take personal responsibility and realizing that oftentimes these emotions of envy and jealousy are self-perpetuated and not in actuality something outside of you that gave you a reason to feel that way. Now, oftentimes that's not the case. Sometimes it's your intuition and you're feeling that way for a valid reason. But so many of the choices that we make in life and the cloak of behavior that we wear that dictate to us how we're going to respond to a situation, what lifestyle choice we're going to make, are directly propelled by a personal feeling of envy or jealousy. And so if we really understand these driving forces in our life and how powerful they are, how present they are in each of our lives, then we can start really fine-tuning, who am I? Why did I really make that choice?
Right.
How am I going to change this in the future?
Which is tremendous segue into the next point, which is that envy isn't the enemy. It's a valuable clue to who you want to be and how to get there. So again, the whole point of all of this is the permission to feel, like we're talking about, like that with the premise of this conversation today. And the permission to feel is how you act, is learning how to accurately label the emotions to help us regulate them. So when you understand why you're feeling the way you feel, then you can do something about it. And action is what gets you out of that emotion and gets you out of that feeling. So let's say, for example, that you're envious. So remember, envy is the desire to have what someone has. It's a covetous feeling. You might want someone's attributes, someone's possessions, or someone's stature in life. And I know that when I say this, we're all thinking of that one person. Drop their name in the comments right now. No, don't do that. Don't drop their name in the comments.
Just hit the like button. Yeah, hit the like button.
Yeah, we're all thinking of that one person that we grew up with, or that, you know, lives across the street from us, or is in our mom's group, or is our social media icon. We're all thinking of that one person that we want what they have. And so let us focus on defining the attributes, the possessions, or the stature that they have. Now, this is a valuable clue, because the reason why you're envious of them is because you want what they have. So instead of focusing your energy towards being envious of them, focus your energy on taking actions to become more like the thing you're envious of. So if it's their positivity, if it's the way that they carry themselves into a room, there are daily practices that you can do to help you become more positive. There are there's things that you can do to, you know, work on self-improvement for how you present yourself. There's steps that you can take. If it's something that they have, why don't you have that? Is it a possession that they have? Maybe it's a Prada handbag and you want a Prada handbag. So maybe you can't afford it. Maybe that's the reason why you're envious, is because they have a Prada handbag and you don't. Well, is it really about the Prada handbag, or is it about the fact that they're successful and you want success? And it's not really that you want their handbag and you're not envious of their handbag. What you're really envious of is success. And the reason why you're envious of their success is because you don't personally feel successful. So what if, instead of directing your energy towards feeling envious towards their success, what if you focused instead on becoming successful and working on yourself?
That reminds me of a quote that I shared in my stories the other day that I just loved the succinct way that they said this, that they described this. And this is so on the fly right now. Of course, I can't find the quote. Did you know that success isn't a destination? It's one moment in a life. So you can feel successful today and not feel successful tomorrow. And it doesn't mean that you're not successful, but success is a word, it's an idea, it's an ethereal concept. It's not like going to Tennessee. So you can't get to Tennessee and say, I've arrived, I'm in success land. Like, it doesn't work like that. So we're constantly trying to capture this feeling of success that we see this person over here have, that this handbag denotes for us that they're successful and we're not, when really it's just a series of daily choices that they're making every day, every other day, once a week. And they have this ebb and flow of feeling successful and not feeling successful as well. And so if we just sort of like reverse the focus and realize what is this word success mean to me? Is it a certain number on a paycheck? Is it a location? Is it a feeling of likability that I have about myself? Is it having a certain relationship in my life? What is that? Define that for yourself. Start really writing that down and journaling that emotion so that you can stop trying to chase this idea like it's the destination and start figuring out real tangible ways you can lean into what your own success looks like in a weekly, daily, monthly basis.
Yeah, exactly. Which is exactly what you need to do. What's on the screen right now? Read it.
One way to regulate your emotions is to trace back to the roots of these feelings.
Yes. One way to regulate your emotions is to trace back to the roots of these feelings. Did I lose my dog? Oh my gosh. Okay, so I take hold on, full break. I take pride in the fact that, yes, my puppy loves both me and Ryan, but I take pride in the fact that she seems to prefer my company.
Because you pursued her, you sought her out, and you wanted her, and she knows that.
Yes, and so I'm feeling jealous.
Yeah.
I am feeling jealous that she's downstairs and that she chose Ryan in this moment.
She's growing up so quickly. She can go up and down between the floors now and choose which.
She can do stairs now. And so I feel jealousy. I feel suspicious that I might be losing someone important to me. It's like, I feel jealous that Tula is choosing another person and I'm protective about our relationship. And yes, Ryan is amazing. And yes,
I mean, you did marry him and all, but you know, he's a human.
But I am used to looking, and she is always here. She is always here, and she is not here right now. She went down to see Ryan. So anyways, that's a whole other story.
Because she can do the stairs now.
She can do
growing up. She can navigate.
Oh my God. But anyways, so just like what Molly shared so beautifully, one way to regulate your emotions is to trace back to the roots of
you. Crazy when I make a comment and you don't hear me.
I don't.
I know.
I love
the tea.
You love the tea?
I do. I really
do. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
You can keep talking now.
Are you done?
I'm done.
Oh, good. Okay. So trace back, like Molly said, with your journal or whatever your practice is, trace back the roots of these feelings. So when you feel jealous or when you feel envious, sit down and self-reflect and analyze, where did that start? How did that start? Why am I feeling the way that I'm feeling? And really what it is what is it about myself and what is it about the other person that's really causing me to have these feelings of jealousy or envy? So again, you got to do the work to identify the way you're feeling, and you can't just choose the emotion, because then you're going to become a miserable person, an unhappy person, and you're going to end up on Dateline NBC.
Which no, we don't want that for you. We want you to transform your mind with us. And join us on this journey where we really dive into our 3 transformative pillars so that you can start saying, instead of, well, things could be worse, you can start saying, well, things are going to be better.
Yeah.
Believe it. Say it and believe it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So do the work. Sit down, figure out why you're feeling envious. Figure out why you're feeling jealousy, identify what those mean, identify the root cause of what this person or this thing is, what the story is that you're saying about it, and really identify it. And then the next step is to try to reframe it and look at it from a different perspective. Try telling yourself another story. Look at your envy or your jealousy through another lens. And most importantly, practice gratitude for what you already have. Remember that you are enough. And the practice of gratitude in and of itself, Molly and I did a live where we talked about gratitude and thankfulness. And so you can go back and watch that to find out all of the power of gratitude. Do you remember that one, Molly?
That was ages ago. We need to redo that one.
We should redo that one. Yeah. So you can go back and find that. Go have fun trying to find that.
Yeah.
Scroll through our page and try to find it. Winner, get the prize.
Actually, if you really do that, I totally will bless you with a prize.
I will too. Yeah. I will too.
Yeah.
I will bless
you. Go back and find that live from a year ago.
I don't think it was a year ago. I actually think it was like in the last 6 months.
Was it? Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I have the concept of time right now. I have kids. I don't sleep,
So practice gratitude for what you already have. Gratitude is power in your life. We don't even have time to talk about all the ways that an attitude of gratitude will transform your day, transform your life. But remembering that you are enough is also just a daily practice that you should have in order to reframe and tell yourself another story.
Oh, I actually didn't have anything to jump in with.
Oh, okay.
I can talk and I have nothing to say.
Yes. I wasn't sure if maybe you were making a comment that I wasn't hearing again.
That's very possible.
Yes. Yes.
I wonder if they all can hear me too, because I think sometimes I just speak in a really like monotone voice and I drown out in the backgrounds because I promise you, I have friends over, or I'm doing an activity with somebody and I'll make a comment, an observation, and they don't hear me either. So I think I just kind of like talk to myself in a way.
Hmm. Hmm. I think that it's maybe because I'm so loud in my own head that I can't hear you through the screen. But anyways, guys, if you are getting value from this today, let us know. We always want to know, drop the word value. As always, if you're watching the replay, hit hashtag replay so that we know. Hit the heart button, hit the like button, and let us know that you're here. And, and let us know that you are, identifying with what we're saying.
It was a really strong sentence, and then it trailed away at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Are you drinking that warm? Are you drinking that warm?
No, no, it's a cold beverage and might be better together mug.
Right.
It's a cold beverage. Your secret is safe with us. Oh, I don't know who you are, Facebook user. You didn't give StreamYard permission to show your name. You're mysterious.
What was the secret that we shared that we're sometimes jealous?
I think I'm just reading the comments from a while ago.
Really delayed comments there.
Yes.
I look so tired today, guys.
Oh my gosh, no, you don't. Stop. So we're just not going down that path. So guys, we want to practice an attitude of gratitude. We want to identify the emotions that we're feeling, and we want to understand why we're feeling those emotions. And if you personally want to do more research on this, again, the book Permission to Feel by Mark Brackett is the premise for this, and really giving yourself permission to feel the way you feel is okay. But then the action is identifying why you feel that way, doing the work of exploring what's causing that feeling, kind of going through that cycle of pain, which most of us tend to avoid. We want to avoid feeling pain and shame and all of those emotions, which is why it's easier, honestly, to just feel jealous or just feel envious, because that's actually easier than doing the work of feeling through why we have envy or why we have jealousy. It's much harder to understand why and then to do the work of the proactiveness that needs to happen in order to remove those emotions than to just be jealous and envious. And then we can go out to lunch with our friends and we can talk about, oh my gosh, I can't believe Sarah has that Prada handbag. Can you believe her? And then we just talk crap about her. And that is a much easier thing to do. And it's a bonding thing that we do as humans, where we bond over trash talking someone else who has something that we want, especially if it's envy of who they are or how they are or what they have. And then especially jealousy if we feel like your husband took your dog from you, relationship.
or this is what happens. And what I wanted to interject a second ago was, we all know that I come in to watch you and I argue with each other in front of them. We all know that's why you're really here. But I wanted to interject that we often let this feeling of envy and jealousy turn into us talking down about them. So in reality, we're envious or jealous of someone, okay? But we find that the way that we share it and collaborate with our friends about it is really us putting them down.
Makes us feel so good, doesn't it?
We're not jealous of the house. We're not bothered by their lifestyle choices. We just think that they made a really poor fiscal decision. And can you even believe that they would have done that with their finances?
And then we say, you know what? They're going to get divorced in 5 years anyway, with her spending that amount of money on her Prada handbags. Or, oh my gosh, can you
Prada handbag keeps coming up.
I know. It's really a personal. Specific example. Or can you believe, that she let herself go like that? She gained 10 pounds. He's going to leave her in 5 years anyways. And that is so much easier and so much more fun because then it makes us feel better than the other person. And it's more fun to feel better than the other person than to actually do the work of figuring out why we feel jealous or envious of them, because that is where that's coming from. We are jealous or envious of them, and identifying why we feel that way and then practicing gratitude for what we have is the only way out of imprisoning yourself. Ooh, I just thought of that. It's the only way out of imprisoning yourself in those emotions, so that those emotions then control you and you become an envious person. You become a jealous person.
Yes, and then that's who you are. That's just who you are. That becomes a cloak of your identity.
So let us know, smash the heart button, drop it in the comment if you're committing to do the work of identifying your emotions and doing the hard work of understanding why you feel that emotion. And rather than allowing that emotion to control you, focusing on accurately labeling the emotion so that you can help regulate that emotion.
So good. So great. I'm a big journaler. I'm an avid fan of journaling with real books. And if you're like me, I want show me some love right now that you're like that too. But I have my daily journal, my daily thought, emotion, feeling journal. I have a journal for everything, guys. I also have a journal for my days, events, and then I have an It's Going to Be Okay journal where I process certain emotions and certain things that I'm talking out with other leaders and mentors. Because if you don't have someone in your life, a therapist, a counselor, a mentor, somebody who you can really talk to about this stuff in an uninhibited fashion, then it is going to be challenging for you to work through some of these emotions in a healthy way, because you're going to take the first step. You're going to say, yes, I hate this. You're going to say that, and then you're going to get stuck and not know. Now you're telling yourself in your brain all the time that you hate this thing, but you don't have any positive train departure from that station because you're not talking to someone who's been there and is now beyond that. Mm-hmm. So reach out to someone, whether it be us or because we're so good at this, right? No, but seriously, you can reach out to us or a therapist, a mentor, somebody. Write the author of this book, send him a letter in his little inbox. Maybe he'll write you back. Let us know.
A letter.
Yeah. But you need to have someone who gives you the tools to work through, okay, you hate that you feel this way, and you feel this way because of A, B, and C. And so that feeling caused you to make these life choices, which is why you are where you're at right now, which is causing you to further feel anger, hate, jealousy, and resentment. What are you going to do now? And sometimes we don't know the answer. We need to talk to someone.
So don't allow those emotions to imprison you. Do the work of figuring out the root cause of those emotions. So that's really all we had for you today. That's really all we had.
That is all of it right there.
That's some heavy stuff right there. That's some heavy stuff right there. So as always, we appreciate your time.
Don't be jealous.
We are not jealous of Molly's new little pearl colored mug.
Yes. Well, my identity is yellow sunglasses, tumblers, handbags, and books. So I'm just choosing to embrace it, guys. Can't help who you are.
Oh my gosh, we appreciate you.
We love you so much. Thank you for giving up and oh my goodness, 40 minutes of your day to tune in, whether you're driving or working or eating or whatever. Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll see you same time, same station next week.
Drop hashtag Be Better Together in the comments below real quick. Drop it. Hashtag Be Better Together and sign us out of here.
The headbanger. Bye, guys.
Bye.